All right, aloha and welcome to those of you who are watching this. This is another Paradigm Shift Central Conscious Creator work period for September 21st. This is where we come together as a global team of conscious media creators to be able to help support each other, to be able to help level up as entrepreneurs, as creative individuals, to be able to help assist and accelerate the collective shift in consciousness. I'm joined once again by some fellow amazing people, our leading members within the team. Guys, if you just want to wave hello to the camera, you can say hello to everyone. We've got Corey, who is one of our newer leading members, myself, Brendon. We've got Robert, we've got Brianna, we've got Mellisa, aka Plasmagoddess, and we've got Pisces, aka Mellisa as well. So perfect. All right, team. With that said, we're going to get right into a couple tips and everything at the beginning. And then from there, we're going to get into some discussion in particular related to Patreon and Discord. Plasmagoddess wants to be able to go over some finalization. But for those of you who are kind of maybe new to these recordings, please feel free to go back and check out the past ones. We've got the playlist down below on YouTube and on Instagram where you can find all the past recordings. There's lots and lots of value there, more stuff than we would just be able to fit into this broadcast alone. And as we kind of roll through this, we have a bit of a routine where I'm just going to kind of go over some general tips and tricks within about the first 20 minutes of this broadcast. And then from there, we're going to go and talk with Mellisa and go over some of the things that they want to be able to go over as well. For those of you who may be brand new to this, if this is something that you're looking to be able to get involved with, again, these conscious creator work periods, we do these Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 3 to 4 p.m. EST. And to be able to join on these, you can check out my Patreon where you can learn more about joining as a leading member. And that's where you'll get additional benefits in our community where you get supported as a conscious media creator. And that's, again, what I'm focused on right now. I've been creating conscious media for over 10 years. And now here we are showing up in this like digital kind of like co-creative space to be able to support each other and to be able to share our wisdom. So that's what I'm here to do. So with that said, we are going to just go over a couple things first. I wanted to be able to just kind of mention the fact that today is World Peace Day. So happy World Peace Day, everybody. I just wanted to be able to invite in some specific content creation relative to that theme for the week. Also wanted to just hit upon the importance of using Instagram Reels, if anybody's not doing that, and also the importance of using, of setting a consistent schedule for your live broadcasts. And then from there, I'm just going to get into additional tips really quickly to be able to help people with some video production in terms of what products, what programs you guys can use, both for desktop and for mobile as well. So again, when we're doing these meetings, when we're doing these conscious creator work periods, I'm always kind of thinking it from the perspective of like, okay, these are my teammates. What do they need to know today to be able to help just kind of like accelerate things, to move them forward? What's going to be helpful for them? That's just going to be valuable for them to be aware of as we continue to move forward. So with that said, let's dive right into it. Again, today is World Peace Day, as I mentioned. And so I've been kind of creating a lot of content themed around this for today, where again, it's really just kind of like putting out that message of peace, embodying peace. And even though this broadcast, for those of you who are listening to the future, it might be past World Peace Day. If you guys haven't yet, please feel free to just kind of like invite people into that collective consciousness, into that awareness, and inviting them into that theme of, again, you know, cultivating peace on the inside to be able to share peace on the outside. Having World Peace Day, even though like it's probably not like super trending right now, but it has been a regular thing, it's important to just kind of be able to utilize those days where there are kind of like collective events to be able to put out specific messages, whether those even be, again, you know, like full moons, whether those be like national holidays, whether those be equinoxes. Today is actually also the equinox too. But just kind of reminding you guys, when there are kind of like those collective days where there might be some sort of ubiquitous theme, it's a great opportunity for you to be able to kind of like invite people into the theme that you want to, into the message that you want to be able to share related to that theme. So other thing, and again, I made some videos on that. We did our global peace meditation. Again, maybe you guys want to do a global peace meditation later today, but I'm also mentioning this also to be able to carry this theme of peace into the week as well. So if you guys want to just be able to kind of like use that as a ubiquitous thing, that's a really cool way to just be able to find some clarity on how to be able to direct your content. So what would it look like if you literally spent like 3 days of this week just kind of focusing on the theme of peace and what that means to you and how to be able to embody it? Having themes for the week is actually a really, really valuable thing. This is something I was going to mention, but I'll just mention it real quick. You guys may notice this, that like with our weekly podcast that we do, this week's podcast is actually going to be on the spiritual wisdom of Hollow Earth, which is really exciting. You guys are welcome to utilize the theme of the podcast that we have leading up to the week if you feel called. I'm not expecting you to. As for myself, what I do is I create content leading up the week that's relative to the theme of the broadcast. So last week it was all about spiritual wisdom of fairy lore. I created a bunch of videos about fairy. The week before that, it was dream class. I created a bunch of videos about dream. The week before that, it was a full moon party. We were, again, going with this. So this week I'm going to create a bunch of content related to like Hollow Earth stuff and everything like that. That's going to be like fun and witty and inspirational. So if you guys, again, not just saying that this is relative to what we're doing, but if you guys have a particular broadcast that's coming up within your community as well, set that broadcast. If that broadcast has a specific theme, say for example, you know, like you might have a broadcast coming up on like health and nutrition or something very specific within the niche of health and nutrition or something like that, then you can kind of create the content leading up the week to just be able to get people in that mindset. So again, that's a very powerful idea to just kind of theme your weeks is basically what I'm saying. And again, this is going to lead me into my next point, and I'll mention the IG Reel stuff in a second. The importance of having a routine with your live broadcast. For those of you who are at this point, this is very, 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 very valuable because again, you know, as conscious creators, yeah, like what are we trying to do? What are we trying to do? Like we're not just here to get followers. We're not just here to get likes. Those are a reflection of what we're really doing. And what we're really doing is building relationships. Building relationships is what it is that we are here to do. And one of the best ways that we can build relationship in between our initial content and just like getting things out there on a regular basis is by creating the sacred space for us to be able to come together during live broadcasts. And these live broadcasts, again, they can be like a specific lecture. They can be a specific type of themed classroom. They can be interactive with the community. They could literally just be a Q&A live on Instagram. They can be tarot readings, oracle readings. They can be meditations. These are just some of the things that you can do. But again, for those of you who, again, are working on building a Discord and a Patreon, and I'll explain a bit about those in a second for those who aren't familiar, having a routine with your broadcast is so important. Try to find, even if it's one day a week, that you can consistently set. Because again, what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to promote this on the regular, and then you build up to it. You build the theme up and around it, and then people, again, just start becoming more familiar. Oh, sweet. Every Saturday night, I get to jump on with, you know, like doing some like meditation with so-and-so. And then this night, oh, we get to do some tarot with so-and-so. And again, please feel free to use the team chat to be able to share your content there as well. I know Brianna does a really good job of sticking with a regular routine with their tarot readings and oracle readings as well. So good for you, Brianna. And again, for everybody here, I know you guys are starting to develop those routines. So again, having those live broadcasts are very important because that's where you really get to connect with people more one-on-one. And then out of that, that's where you develop the relationship. And then out of that, naturally, in a very authentic way, that's where you're connecting with people that will eventually lead them into connecting further with your community. And if they feel called, supporting on your Patreon as well. So make sure that you have that regular schedule for your routines for your live broadcasts. Other thing I'll just mention here real quick, if you're not already yet, utilize Instagram Reels. Instagram Reels has been surprisingly successful for other creators as well as myself. Again, the way how Instagram Reels works is Instagram Reels are only 15-second clips. So unlike TikTok, it's only 15 seconds. So I've talked about this before with the benefit of being able to create a variety of content for TikTok where it mixes up 1-minute clips or however long, and then specifically 15-second clips. If you can focus on creating good 15-second clips, download those, and then re-upload to Instagram Reels, and then use some relative tags and everything like that, and you might just get lucky. It's kind of, again, it's kind of like a lottery and things like that. I was fortunate enough to get pretty lucky. I mean, obviously I put intention into my content and I've already got like a community that's been built, but there's been a couple videos that I did, like one in particular, one of the ones where it's just like me standing in front of the mirror and sending a message out to people. Very, very simple. It wasn't that crazy, but I had the additional text on screen. It was super clear, super legible. The additional text makes it easy for people to be able to engage with and to make sure that the message coming across. That video, I think probably right now is probably over like 90,000 views. And the reason why this is good is because those are leading people into the rest of my content, and that's inviting people to be able to follow. So my Instagram for quite some time, it was kind of stagnant at like 16,000 followers, which is great. But I mean, over the years, I don't even know what that number even really means anymore. But over the past couple of weeks, it's actually gone all the way up to 17,000. So because of the Instagram Reels, the way how it works is Instagram will keep pushing those out. Much like TikTok, it does the work for you where it curates your content and it keeps delivering it. So do not miss out on Instagram Reels if you're looking to be able to invite more people to your content. Focus on creating short 15-minute things, 15-second things. And again, find a valuable message that you can put into it that will assist people, that will give them insight, that will motivate them, that will make them feel a certain way. Find that value, deliver it in 15 seconds, get good at that, create a few of those a week, and you will grow your Instagram content, your Instagram audience, which again, leads people back into your lives, your Discord, and your Patreon as well. It's great to still have the other stuff happening on your Instagram as well, but those can still get good reach, but the Instagram reels are what are going to likely reach new people, and then they find your other stuff. So does that make sense, guys? Thumbs up on that if you guys just kind of, that helps bring some awareness, because again, I know a lot of people, they haven't been using Instagram reels and they're just like, why? Like, what? Tell me, convince me why. Well, that's me telling you, because, you know, again, there's a great opportunity there. It's a bit of a dice roll, but I guarantee you, if you put some focus and intention into that, it will pay off for you. So definitely make use of that. Okay, guys. Other thing that I was just going to mention real quick were some quick tips for video production. I know a lot of people who may be brand new to this, you guys have asked me, say like, hey, you know, like, what do I, like, I've been using iMovie. What should I use, right? First of all, iMovie, if it's all you have, okay. But even still, in today's day and age, this wasn't the case a few years ago. We have video editing software that's available through desktop, through browser. So one of the things that I would recommend if you're looking to just kind of like not really spend any money or anything like that, is a website called Clipchamp. So CLIPCHAMP.com. I'll put it in the show notes for those of you on YouTube and Instagram as well. Clipchamp. Check that out. It works on desktop. It works on iOS. It works on Mac. It works on Windows as well. I'm sure it's probably getting better. I haven't used it in a while, but again, just as an alternative, it is something where you can start like editing with different layers of video. So if you have a video that again is designed for your YouTube, check that out. I know there are like features in it where you can pay to be able to export at higher quality, but if you're exporting at lower quality, those lower quality videos, if you're doing some simple editing, again, even just adding like graphics or putting together clips from like a meditation or an instructional video you're doing. And then what you can do is you can export that at a lower quality, but then you can still upload that to Instagram super easily. This is another quick tip that a lot of people don't know about. You can upload widescreen videos to Instagram from your desktop. So if you are not utilizing that, that is not, again, another really, really useful way to be able to get content out there. So so again, like even for Brianna, I know you have a lot of videos that you put up to YouTube. Try making a routine where some of those you're literally logging into Instagram on desktop and then you're posting it onto Instagram, and all you would just have to do is create like a specific thumbnail for it. And I'll talk about some good software to be able to create some thumbnail graphics in a second, and then we'll get right into the stuff with talking to you guys and hearing what it is that we are going to go over there. So again, Clipchamp. I'll put the link down below. Other software that I would encourage you to get, Clipchamp, if that's kind of like an in-between thing, that's great. But if you have the computer that can run this, and you might not know until you try, Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro is like the best video editing software there is. This thing used to cost like $5,000. Now it's like a monthly subscription thing. I don't know what it is now. I think it's maybe like $30 a month. If you have that budget available, and if you know you're going to be creating like a lot of content, or at least you want to be creating a lot of video content in that format, definitely check out Adobe Premiere Pro for desktop. I don't think a lot of you are going to be doing a lot of desktop editing quite nowadays, which is kind of the thing, because like there's so much engagement happening on TikTok, and there's so much you can do from your mobile. Editing on desktop and doing those longer form videos isn't quite as like required in the same way. You could still be totally successful without ever editing on desktop. Like, quite frankly, it's possible nowadays. But for those of you who do feel called to edit on desktop, Adobe Premiere Pro, download the trial and check that out and see if it runs. And if you feel like you're going to be doing a lot of video editing, I would highly recommend that. And if you guys want, you can ask me more questions about Adobe Premiere Pro as well. So video editing apps for mobile. So this is one I know Mellisa was already just shouting this out in the chat. Videoleap. 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 If you guys haven't downloaded this one's specifically for iOS. There's another good video editing app called InShot for Android. I'm not sure if some of you use that, but Videoleap is like basically like the things that you could do in Adobe Premiere Pro you could do in Videoleap. The thing with Videoleap is that you don't want to be editing like super detailed videos in Videoleap. It's good for, again, 1-minute videos that you're uploading to TikTok and things like that. Longer videos, that's when you're probably going to want to use desktop and everything. But for a quick edit, to be able to, again, edit outside of TikTok, Videoleap is super, super useful. It's a monthly subscription. So again, it's a bit of an investment. I've been using it for over a year. I am incredibly pleased with it. It just helps me with like a lot of editing, just to be able to speed things up and to save you time. So $10 extra a month could save you like 10 hours of editing that you might otherwise be doing just within the app. Plus there's a lot of cool like additional like effects and things that you can do as well. And InShot, I'm not entirely sure. I don't use that because I don't have an Android, so I can't give you too much on that, but that's what I know has been recommended. Yeah, and is Videoleap, like, does Videoleap have like a free version now? I think is that what I think, Mellisa, is it like kind of free? Okay, so Videoleap is free, so you guys should definitely.
There's a limited version.
There's a limit. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, you can use Videoleap, but with the limited version, you can only add so many layers and things like that, is my understanding. Yeah, so definitely everybody here, download Videoleap, and then if you need to upgrade it, you can. But for basic stuff, like everyone on the team here should use Videoleap 100% if you're on iOS, and again, InShot, or something else if you're on Android. I'm sure there's other things out there as well. Another app that I would recommend is a must-have, and these are basically like I don't use too many apps when it comes to video production, everything like that, and Instagram, is Adobe Spark. So Adobe Spark is a graphic editing software. I think, Mellisa, are you using Adobe Spark already? Did I already tell you about that one? No, not yet. Okay.
I love it though.
You're awesome. Using that, Mellisa. Okay, perfect. Sorry. Plasmagoddess is using that. Yeah, so Adobe Spark. I think it's just called Spark now on the App Store. As far as I know, it's available for Android. It's definitely available for iOS. Again, super, super valuable. If you guys see like some of the graphics that I do on my Instagram, and again, even if you're creating the thumbnails, this is kind of like a more advanced tip, but when you're uploading to IGTV, sometimes what you have to do is you have to upload like a 9:16 vertical image. So what you can do is you create a blank vertical image within Adobe Spark. You create a square image that's going to be your thumbnail, and then you bring that square image into your vertical image, and then you place it in the middle, and then you export that, save it, and re-upload that as your preview image, which will again be useful for having a preview image for your IGTV videos. As well, that you're uploading from desktop. So I know if that sounds a little bit more advanced, ask me if you got any questions about that later, but that is, again, just part of the routine that I use. So Adobe Spark, everybody here should download that. So if you guys have Videoleap, if you guys have Adobe Spark, you pretty much have everything that I'm using. And then there's just like other like little tips and tricks as we go, which I can get into a little bit more detail as we go. So those will give you guys the tools. And again, if you're editing a video, this is another quick thing that I'll give you some piece of advice on that it's been really helpful for me. I know this might sound a little bit crazy for some of you, but if you can, get a second mobile device. Get 2 mobile devices if you can. And you might be thinking, well, I don't have the money to get 2 mobile devices. But if you go to like your local like cell phone provider and stuff like that and be like, hey, like I'm looking to upgrade, they'll probably be like, oh, yeah, we'll make this easy for you. It might cost you like maybe 10 extra bucks a month or something like that. And then you keep your old phone and then you still have your new phone. And then having that extra phone can be incredibly useful. And this is just a quick tip, and then we're going to get into the other stuff, especially for if you're doing filming. And this is kind of like behind the scenes. If you guys have seen, sometimes when I'm doing videos, if it's like me talking to myself and things like that, sometimes I'll literally just do it off, like I memorize things and then I do it off the top of my head. I don't always have time to be able to do that. What I've actually been doing in some cases, again, this is kind of like the magic of how it works, is that I'll write out the script, send it to myself on like Messenger, and then I have that script on one of my phones, and then I attach that script to like a pole. It's like a tripod without anything on it. And then I attach that script, like my phone, in the script on my phone, I attach it to a tripod, and then I place it like next to my camera where I'm filming. And then I'm reading off my other phone as I'm filming with my primary phone. So it basically creates like a teleprompter for you, is essentially what I'm encouraging you guys to be able to do. Because then if you start getting into more of those creative ideas where you've seen me do ones where it's like me talking to myself, the way how I do those, and this is just, again, a quick tip, but I don't want to spend too much time on this. Basically, what I'll do, I'll write the script, and then I'll separate it into 2 characters. I'll send character A and character B as 2 messages through my messenger. I pull character A up on my phone, set it up on a tripod, position my camera, hit record, read through the lines, take breaks in between, read through the lines, stop record, go into Videoleap, bring in this footage. So this is why Videoleap's important. Bring in this footage into Videoleap, edit it together, and create spaces within the edit where I'm going to have those additional pieces of dialogue. And then once I do that, I've got an idea of how long the video is, because this is the trick. You don't want it to be more than a minute. So if I need to adjust things within the B script, I can adjust things in the B script, knowing that like I put it in the timeline. Here's clip A, blank space where I'm going to put clip B. I say it to myself as I'm watching it, clip A again, clip B, clip A, clip B. So it's again, kind of like this back and forth. And then I take clip B. If I need to adjust things, I can adjust things, reposition it, set the camera, record, read the lines, bring that into Videoleap, take those things, clip, 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 it put it in, and then boom, and then adjust things, adjust the speed if it's like off by a second and things like that. But that is a super quick way that, again, you can make, because you guys have seen those, and I want you guys to be able to make videos like those because they're super creative. Those ones where, again, you're talking to yourself. At the same time, you do not need to do this if you guys want to just be able to wing things and you can memorize things. And again, even if you're just holding the camera, like use it like a selfie stick, or if you got one and things like that, you can still do that. You can still do that. But again, if you do it this way, I guarantee you it will make your content stand out. They'll be like, whoa, this is like a little bit more professional. And that's what will make people remember you. They'll be like, this person put a little bit of extra work into their content. There's a professional, like, kind of glow to it. I'm going to come back and I'm going to check out more of their content. And again, so it just opens up more creativity. So if you guys can, honestly, I would encourage each and every single one of you to go to your cell phone providers and just say, hey, I'm looking at upgrading. What offers do you have? You can say no, but even if you're just like, oh, do you guys got any old phones or anything like that? Because if you're using a secondary old phone just as a script, that's useful. Plus, if you can use that secondary old phone and you're running off Wi-Fi, you can set up 2 live feeds when you're doing things such as going live on TikTok and on Instagram for your broadcasts. And then you're live on YouTube off desktop. So again, this is how I do it. This is like literally just like freaking surrounded by phones and computers, every single angle. So yeah, so that's basically just what I wanted to be able to mention there. I think that took a little bit longer. Maybe that was more than 20 minutes. But yeah, guys, give me a thumbs up on that if that just gives you guys some like valuable info. Does anybody have any questions relative to that before we jump into the next stuff? If it's clear, that's clear, then okay, cool. All right, if you guys do have any questions, let me know. And again, once you guys download Videoleap, I want to probably make some videos of me just doing like tutorials for Videoleap and stuff like that. But if you guys do have any questions about Videoleap or Adobe Spark, let me know. But seriously, those are the tools that I use. Now you guys know, and now you guys are going to be able to do things yourself. And again, why do we want those tools? Because it helps open up more creativity. It helps us it helps the ideas flow, So, okay, team. So with that said, we're going to move into talking with Plasmagoddess. We talked to Plasmagoddess on the work period from last week, which was September 16th. I would encourage you guys to go check that out if you're just kind of looking for more information relative on Discord and Patreon. And I'll just explain real quick. Patreon, for those of you unfamiliar, Patreon is a website where people can support artists with monthly contributions. And when they do that, they can get additional benefits and rewards, and also be able, if they set it up this way, to be able to join like a private community and to be able to like get more engagement with the creator. Discord is a platform that we use for chat communication that anybody can create their own server. And within the server, you can have different chat channels, and you can set it up in a way where it's really clear and really concise, and it helps you consolidate your community, provide them with information, create a space where they can engage, and to be able to help build things towards your broadcast, and to be able to help build things towards your Patreon as well. So again, I've been using this. I've been building my Patreon. It's been successful. And now I'm here to be able to teach you guys how to be able to do the same with your own style to it as well. But again, I give you guys permission, guys. If there's things that you see me that I've been doing, if you want to mimic it, go for it. Go for it. Like, that's okay. Like, I give you guys permission. I want you guys to be able to succeed. So if it works for me, I hope, if it works for you, if you feel called to use it, then absolutely go for it. So with that said, we're going to check in with Plasmagoddess. And last meeting that we had, Plasmagoddess was setting up their Discord, setting up their Patreon. And since then, they've started inviting more people into the Discord, and they're just getting ready to be able to begin rolling out their Patreon. So we'll pass it over to Mellisa, aka Plasmagoddess. Mellisa, go ahead. Just let us know where you're at, and let us know where you feel you need to get some clarity. And Mellisa, thanks so much for being here. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you, Brendon. And thank you so much for all this valuable information. I'm learning so much from this. So where I'm at right now is I have my Patreon launched. I have 3 tiers for the moment. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to exactly offer for, you know, the larger tiers when it comes to that. But I have a $5, I have an $11, and I have a $33 to start with, at least. So I have that. I have all the information on there that I can see that I can add. But for the Patreon, my one question, it's kind of silly, but I'm trying to figure out, so I looked at your Patreon, and after I had been added as a leading member, there's like a welcome that pops up on the membership screen, and it shows, oh, thank you so much for joining, and please read the following to get started. And I was just wondering, like, how do you add that text? Because I can't figure it out.
Yeah, not a problem. Let me just answer that one real quick for you, and then we'll dive into the other stuff. So when you're on Patreon on desktop, you go to the part where you're at where it says edit page. And then from there on the right-hand side, I'm just doing it right now just to confirm. On the right-hand side, there's literally a thing where it says welcome notes at the top. So if you're on desktop, literally just within like the patreon.com/edit/about, you should see welcome at the top. Like I could literally just post it into the chat here, and that should probably take you if you're logged in. But yeah, patreon.com/edit/welcome. Did you find it?
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Solve that mystery. Okay, good. All right. Go ahead, Mellisa.
Perfect. Well, yeah, that was my only question that I really had for Patreon. Other than I'm still kind of figuring out exactly what I want to do for the larger tiers. But that's kind of where I'm at with Patreon. And then my Discord is doing good. I have a few more new members that joined under just the regular membership, which is great. But my question for Discord is, I'm trying to figure out, is it a good idea to have the Discord chat link available in my link tree for people just to join without invite? Or do you think it would be better if I just kept it strictly invite only?
That's going to be, yeah, that's going to be something that you can kind of like feel out as you go. I think at this point, it would be safe to put it in your link tree because like your audience isn't super huge. And if people are just checking your link just out of curiosity, and if they see that, that could be a way to be able to lead them in. Generally, I encourage people not to put it in their link tree if they have like an audience of like 100,000 people. And right. Then, you know, if they're suddenly like, hey, check out the link, it's in my link tree, then suddenly they have like 200 people join within the hour, and that's a little bit chaotic. I think you're safe to put it in your link tree at this point. At the same time, I think, again, kind of what we were talking about before, if you're creating content, and I know you've already kind of been doing this, where you're basically provoking interest in your community, in your private community aspect, where again, you're just saying, hey, if this is something you're interested in, leave me a comment down below. And then once you get to the one-on-one chat with them, then you also send them the link again. So you're basically just saying like, here are your instructions, here's your Discord. And again, you know, because some of them may be new to Discord, so you can literally say like, here's the Discord link, you can access this link from desktop, you can download the mobile app. And again, you may even want to create a tiny URL link for your permanent Discord link as well. And I can help you with that as well. But yeah, no, just to answer that would be my simple suggestion. Go ahead though. Let's just, what else do you need to get some clarity on?
Awesome. Well, that pretty much answers all of that. And then my last question is a little bit from Discord and Patreon. It's more along the lines of doing lives because I really want to up my live game. And I was just wondering if you'd be open to share a little bit of your process when you go live and how that all works, because I know you use multiple social media platforms to kind of gather people in, and then you guide everybody to go to the YouTube for the main live. And I was just wondering, how do you also connect Zoom to live? Because I've never done that before.
Yeah, no problem. I'll explain that quickly here. I probably will be doing another like beginning of a meeting where I just kind of go over specific details on lives to get into the mindset. But I'll just talk about it here real quick, just to be able to give you what you need. So just to kind of like reiterate, a format that I encourage people to do is to be able to, if they're doing like if it's just a casual broadcast, hey, maybe you're just going to jump on TikTok and that's fine, you know, especially if it's something where you're not like really worrying about it being recorded. At the same time, like there are some broadcasts where it's just like, you almost want it to just be casual. Like maybe that's like, you're just kind of like more like playful, and you don't need things to be recorded all the time. You know, it's just going to be a quick in the moment type experience. And in some cases that actually entices people because they're just like, oh, this won't be recorded, I should jump on TikTok real quick. So, you know, if you feel like it's just like, hey, this is just going to be jumping on for a quick thing, yeah, you just jump on for a quick thing. But when it's like your actual broadcast, yeah, the simple format that I encourage you to do, if you have the devices to be able to do this, is to broadcast from YouTube and to be able to broadcast simultaneously from Instagram and from TikTok if you have two devices, or use one of those if you can. And that really depends on kind of like where your primary audience is, or if you even have 1,000 followers on TikTok, because that's what you need to be able to follow. But then having that secondary camera, again, like what I've done, as a lead into your YouTube. So you take the YouTube, put that into your profile link, tell people, hey, jump over to my YouTube, because you want them to be able to join in on your YouTube, because again, that's where you're going to be posting more content. Like if people in your community, it's just going to benefit you to make sure that they're on your YouTube. Plus I'll get them ready for future broadcasts that you might be doing that have specific themes and everything like that. In regards to connecting Zoom to YouTube, I can send you more information on that. But if you literally go into the Zoom settings, I forget what it's under right now. I can't look at it right now, but it's pretty clear. There actually is a clear setting where it's like, you know, like broadcast to Facebook into YouTube, and you just kind of have to click a few buttons to be able to connect there. I haven't actually used that feature. I know it's there, but that's because I use an additional feature where I'm running what I'm doing is, this is more advanced. We won't talk about this too much here. This is a broadcast it's a program called Open Broadcast Software. This is when you get into more advanced broadcast things, where you start seeing on some of my broadcasts, like the graphics and the things all around and everything like that. Open Broadcast Software, OBS, is what that's called. You may even just want to check it out, because honestly, if you can start playing with it, even if you're not going to use it right away, it will start giving you more ideas in terms of what you could do in the future as well. But that's a little bit more advanced, where it's running through OBS and then running over to YouTube. And there's reasons why I use that, but you guys don't really need to use that. You could literally, again, just kind of start going on YouTube, just like right from the desktop. And again, when you do that, you literally just like go click live YouTube, connect your webcam and everything like that, and make sure you do some test runs ahead of time. And then again, if you're creating an event, make sure you've done your test run first, and then you create a new event, schedule it, create that link, and then that link becomes the link that you're going to be putting into your profile, as well as the link you're going to be promoting. And again, that link, you may even want to create a tiny URL version of it as well, where it might, again, be like the date plus like what the event is or something, just to be able to use that in your upcoming graphics, opposed to just saying like, because again, like, if your YouTube channel doesn't have a custom URL yet, which only happens once you've gotten, I don't know how many, but it's a thing that happens a little bit later. Most people, if you're just starting on YouTube, it's like your YouTube is like youtube.com/ a bunch of numbers and letters. But then if you're just like, oh, follow me on YouTube under my name, and if you tell them your name, sometimes it's hard for people to find it. So if you can create that tiny URL for that specific broadcast that directly sends people to that, you could do that. Theoretically, you could create a tiny URL specifically just for your channel as well, if you wanted to, but you wouldn't be using that too frequently. But yeah, and then other than that, in terms of just kind of like the mindset going into lives, we'll talk more about this a little bit later. One thing I will just say is, when you're going live, make sure that you guys are kind of communicating your authority. And what I mean by this is communicating the fact that you have experience in what it is that you're talking about. When I use the word authority, I'm not talking about like, oh, like listen to what I say, but more so like, I'm inviting you to be able to pay attention, because of what I'm saying is coming from a place of like 10 years of experience and expertise. And I'm not just talking out of thin air here. And this is something that, you know, I want to reassure you guys that this is worth your time. So this is where, especially if you're going live or just reintroducing yourself, even partway through a live, you know, just be like, hey guys, like, oh, like if you're on TikTok, be like, yeah, for those of you, like, if you guys are new, let me know in the comments. My name is, again, you know, like, just like if I was you, it's like, my name's Mellisa. I've been involved with health and nutrition, and I've been like, you know, on this journey for over the past X number of years. I've got experience in this. I've been helping people here. Like, you could say like, I went to school for this, like if that's something that's relative to you, if you got like a specific, you know, credentials and stuff, like that's what I could say, right? Like for me, I literally say, you know, like I've been creating conscious content for over 10 years. Like that's a thing. That's people will be like, whoa, okay, that's something. I went to school for media theory and production. So I've got a certificate. I've got that. I've worked in the professional industry. I've got that. And I'm an award-winning Canadian filmmaker, and I've got that. And I can say all those things. Those are all true. But again, when you say that, you're establishing your authority. And then if people are just kind of tuning in, they're just like, oh, like, okay, sweet. Like, this is really valuable because this person is like an expert in their field. So again, I think this is something that I would just invite you guys to be able to do. And again, I know Brianna, I know, again, this is something that like you're already doing this, and I would just encourage you to keep doing that. Because again, I know you got a lot of like your professional certifications and what it is that you're talking about as well. So again, I think when you're on live, those are really, really valuable just to be able to communicate. So that could be literally at the beginning of your live. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into my live. My name's so-and-so, and here is my authority. Here's all the things that I've, this is why you should listen to me, essentially. And then you continue on from there. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to mention that. That's very, very important to do at the beginning of a live. And again, that could be for tarot as well or anything. You could be like, hey guys, I've been working with tarot for over like 10 years or something like that, so it's all relative. Cool. Okay. Thumbs up. Does that make sense for you guys? Because we're going to have to just keep an eye on the time here as we go. Mellisa, just checking in. What do you feel your next steps are? And like anything else that you may need clarity with that we can maybe talk about another time?
My next steps are just to get that text on Patreon and then just bust out a bunch of content to invite people to my community. So that's what I'm going to do next. And yeah, I got all my questions answered. So thank you.
Perfect. Awesome. Happy to hear. And Mellisa, if it's helpful for you, I recently just kind of redid my welcome note on Patreon. I could send you what I got for mine, and then you could literally just kind of like model something off that if it's helpful for you.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, cool. And anybody else, you guys can do that. Again, like the welcome note should just kind of be like, here are your next steps. Pisces, go ahead. Did you want to, relative to that?
Please would like to request that welcome notes.
Okay, not a problem. Yeah, I mean, it's not so much as template, but obviously if you see what I got, you can be like, okay, I can model this the same way, where it basically just says, thank you, here's your discount code. If you've signed up at the $11 level, here's the team chat. And it literally explains, like it says, like you can join this on desktop or mobile. And then it says like, and then the next thing after that is like, here's your benefits. So it's like, like here's our work periods that we do. Here's a link to the recordings of our work periods. Here's our weekly team podcast that we do. Here's like, and here's how you join. And then again, like here's how you access me for like one-on-one stuff and things like that. So again, it's just giving them an overview. But literally like that overview should almost be what's already in the welcome channel of your Discord, essentially. And that information could also be essentially kind of like within your Patreon. I actually recently just updated my Patreon write-up. If you guys actually want to go back and take a look at my Patreon, it's much more concise than what it was. And one thing that I would really, really encourage you guys to be able to do, because I've been meaning to update it for a while, and I just finally got to it on the weekend because I knew it wasn't the best. But what's really important is when you're on Patreon, especially if you are just on desktop or even on mobile, it shows like the first paragraph before you have to click see more. You guys want to be able to make sure in that first paragraph that you are communicating your authority, what we just talked about, and what the benefits are for them to join. So don't spend a whole paragraph just kind of saying like, hey, here's my story. It should literally be like one sentence, here's my authority, here's what we're creating as a team, here's what you get. So without them even having to click more, they could literally just kind of see right there. And literally in mine, it basically says like, it'd be like, if you know you're ready to sign up, go ahead and sign up. If you want more information, keep scrolling. And then it gets into a little bit more detail. So that first paragraph on your Patreon, super concise, super to the point, clearly communicated, your authority, what you're doing as a community, the benefits. So I'd really, really, really encourage you guys to just kind of make sure that that's nice and clean, because that's going to be really important for when people are jumping in. So it's almost like a too long didn't read version of what it is that you're creating. So, okay, cool. All right, team, let's just keep moving around here. I'll keep an eye on the time. I think, does anybody know what time we started at? I just want to make sure we're not over an hour. I think we probably got like 20 minutes, give or take.
But we started 15 past the hour.
15? Okay, all right, okay, we'll finish a couple minutes early then. Okay, so would Pisces, did you want to go next in terms of stuff? Because I know you're kind of talking about stuff similar to Plasma as well. Okay, Pisces, go ahead and just kind of again, just as a recap, like yeah, you're similar position where you have been building your Discord. You were using the template that I provided for you, and you're about ready to launch your Patreon. So any other information, let us know where you're at and what you feel you need clarity on.
Thank you for passing the mic. Anybody watching in the future, my name is Mellisa, Pisces Psyche. And I've been working on my spiritual journey as an intuitive for about a year now, but I've been just a very spiritual person since birth and just kind of been in my very close-knit family. And as we go into the present, I am currently working on launching that into my career as an intuitive. And what I've been recently working on, as you said, Brendon, is kind of fine-tuning the template in my Discord, which was just phenomenal to get me off the ground and running. And it's been really inspiring and really easy to tweak and fine-tune. And I can't thank you enough. Massive gratitude. So, sorry. Everything good? I got a low power notification. Okay. So I highly recommend, if you are interested in that, everybody should head this way to Brendon. Would like to express my deepest passion is to nourish the world, hack the planet, heal the world. That is my mission. And I would like to take just 1 minute to show gratitude for this community that has helped me and nourished me on my own journey, and particularly Brendon, especially for assisting me as I shift. And I was kind of recently at a bit of a stalemate with the Patreon, and so sometimes you have to pivot. So we're going to pivot. And I've had some clarity on the direction I want to go. And I've decided kind of to tweak my lower tiers in less of a creating community kind of direction, and more of an offering my knowledge in mini classes direction. And just so I'll be sharing a bit of like you mentioned, themed kind of maybe weekly, which here's the part where I'd like feedback and clarity on your end, is like maybe weekly or like format type of situation. My ideas are like zodiac insight. Basically my skills are in research and providing clear and concise knowledge from the things that I can gather tons and tons of information and then bring it back here and wrap it up really neat and nice. And I'm really excited about that. So I'm thinking like things like zodiac, numerology guidance, crystal wisdom. Those are my favorites right now. So a bit of planning on that would be really helpful. How to plan for myself. I don't expect you to do that for me. So my question is, in weaving those new lesson plans into what I've already got set up in my Patreon tiers, how do I integrate that? And also my Discord roles.
Okay, cool. First thing with those meetings, and again, this is stuff that we're talking about here that could be relative to everyone. Quick note, Pisces was just kind of like referring to the Discord template that I've created for you guys. So just a reminder for those of you who are new, or for those of you who haven't signed up as leading members, if you are a leading member, I can send you the template to create a Discord channel. So again, Brianna, I can send this to you as well. And that will just like save you a lot of time too. Okay. So yeah, it's like anime characters. So Pisces, I just kind of wanted to be able to check with you with your classes. Do you know if you're going to keep the recording of those public, or are you going to keep the recording of those private? And I would encourage you to keep them public.
Actually, didn't even occur to me to be like a video type things. So yeah, I totally thought I'd be just like posting in Discord. Actually, I love this.
Okay.
I didn't even really know how to put that knowledge out there. Like discussion type of video, or like, formatting. Formatting is where I kind of lose my niche.
Okay, because it sounds like what you theoretically could do is almost creating something similar to our team broadcasts, like our podcasts and stuff like that, where like it may not start off being on YouTube. Like you literally could, again, similar to what I was talking about, Mellisa, you can set up Zoom so it goes into YouTube. I'll have to do that just to be able to make sure I'm familiar with that so I can help you guys with that. But I know it's not, like I've seen a bunch of people do it, so if they can do it, it's not too hard. But yeah, that may be a thing, Mellisa, where again, awesome. Like use that format where like maybe you guys are having your own weekly podcasts. And again, this could be for Brianna as well. Maybe you guys are doing that where your Patreon supporters are joining in And that's the benefit that they get. They get the benefit of like not only being with you, but being in that community space to practice talking, to practice communicating, to practice sharing their wisdom and knowledge. And again, like you guys already know the format that works for us, but again, you have that, and then you have those available afterwards, put those in a concise playlist on YouTube, show those to the community, and then every single one of those becomes a lead in for more people to be able to join in, and for them to see
grow.
like the
Yes.
team, especially from week to week. It's like, oh, these classes are growing, right? And you can talk, you can hype it up on TikTok and stuff too, right? So that's where, again, kind of like with what I was saying, like you create a little post about it ahead of time, and then leading into it, you're like, guys, we got our team, you can call it a podcast, we got our team podcast coming up this week. And again, like just like join on the leading member before, if you want to be able to join. And again, another side note. Yeah, okay, cool. I can tell that makes sense. And another side note, guys, because I've talked to you before, if you guys are creating like, again, the levels within your Patreon and within your community, again, we use the term leading member for ours. Honestly, guys, like if you feel the term leading member just makes it easier for you guys to be able to explain what it is that the people are, please by all means use that. I know Plasmagoddess is actually using the term like shooting stars. Is that correct? That's a term like for your leading members, basically. Yeah. So again, guys, whether you're calling them leading members or something else is up to you, but I'm just basically giving you permission where if you guys want to call your $11 Patreon supporters leading members, that's okay, guys. Like that's okay. I'm not claiming that. I'm not gonna like what's gatekeep that? Is that what I'm talking about? Like it's a simple term, right? Like it's a ubiquitous term. So but again, I encourage you guys to kind of like find some sort of like fancy name for your general community as well. So but yeah, Pisces, let's just check in with that. We're gonna get close to wrapping this up in about 10 minutes. And I know if Brianna and then Corey and Robert, if you guys have more stuff you want to check in on, we got time for that. But yeah, Pisces, I think even just that idea of like, like do it. Create a weekly podcast,
Yes.
Just go that could, because again, that's a lot of value there. And if you're just streamlining that, like if you're just going ahead with that, people will be like, ooh, I want to be a part of this. Right. So like, yeah, don't, and again, like same, like Plasmagoddess, like that may be what you guys want to do too, where it's like, because again, that's going to be great experience for you guys getting on air. Like, here we go. Like, you guys have been seeing us do it. And now everybody's just going to create their own podcast. Like, I want you guys to do this, right? Because it's like the podcasts are a powerful way to come together and to celebrate as a community. Plus, it gives you an incredible amount of experience in just getting more comfortable in leadership, and it positions you and people see it. So, yeah, go ahead, Pisces. Just checking back. How does that feel? And any other things you want to get clarity on?
That feels like you just fueled the freight train.
Cool.
Like I'm clear. I'm moving forward. I have so much excitement and direction now. This whole discussion style, like podcast thing, always excites me when we do it. And I've learned so much from you that it just only feels like natural and good and right to continue in my own journey to provide each and all of us have our own abilities. So why not do what works?
Yeah.
So thank you.
Perfect. Awesome. That's exciting for you. Okay, cool, guys. Yeah. And we'll have to, again, we'll get into more details about that again, kind of like how to host a weekly podcast community circle and stuff like that. And like, again, like also the post-production and stuff. Cause like, if you guys, maybe you guys want to get your stuff up on Spotify eventually, like, hey, like that would just, again, add another notch to your belt. Why not? Right. So, yeah, so I think that's great. I think that moves us in the right direction, and we'll get into more of the details on how to do that for another broadcast as well. I'm just making sure there wasn't anything else I was forgetting here. I think that's good. Yeah, no, I think it's okay right now. Okay. And Plasmagoddess, you're thinking that, oh, the other thing I was just going to say, guys, yeah, like if you're creating your podcast, you can create you can create like that full schedule. Like you can create like 5 classes ahead of time where, again, it's kind of like, and that's the thing, like you almost create it like a curriculum, right? Like you kind of create it where like week 1 might be introduction to spirituality or health and nutrition. And then week 2 is, again, kind of, exercise. Week 3 might be like sleep, week 4 might be, again, like high intensity training or something, or again, whatever it is within your niche. So if you guys create, I wouldn't encourage you to create too far ahead. Like you might even want to kind of do it in phases where it's like phase 1, here's 5 that we got coming up. And then phase 2 will be revealed near the end of phase 1 type thing. You don't have to figure it all out as you go. Sometimes, again, with ours, sometimes like I don't know the podcast episode until it's like, the week of. So you guys might feel it out that way. But I think if you guys, especially if you're getting started, if you can give them the roadmap, and again, that roadmap is also a way to be able to help promote what it is you're doing. Cause you're just like, guys, like we're doing this, get in early. Like don't wait till week 3, like get in now. right? Like you can go back and check out weeks 1, 2, get in now. So I think for all of you guys there, that would be a huge piece of value to get people excited, especially when they see this like mapped out and everything like that. So yeah, Plasmagoddess, just give me some feedback on that. Does that sound like something you would want to do too?
Yes, absolutely. Like this all speaks to my soul so much. I'm like getting really stoked to like go live and just not think about it anymore, just do it and, you know, get the ball rolling.
Perfect. Awesome. Good job. And yeah, and Pisces, congratulations on hitting 1K on TikTok again. I know that was a huge milestone because now you can go live on TikTok, right? So that's good. Good job there. Cool. Okay. I want to check in with Brianna before we get close. If we go a little bit over the hour, I'll just have to edit stuff out. So if you're watching this on Instagram and it goes past the hour, make sure you watch the YouTube recording, but we'll probably finish it up. Brianna, checking in with you. How is this stuff kind of like relating to ideas for you and anything else that you feel you might want some feedback on? Go ahead. Let me know.
Awesome. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Brianna. I'm a holistic health and mental wellness professional. I have a master's degree in counseling psychology. And thank you, Pisces, for that wonderful like brainstorm about how to integrate classes into Patreon and how to do that through Zoom as well. I got some revelations about that. And I'll definitely have to use that Discord template. So this has been very helpful as kind of like some add-ons. One question I did have is that I noticed that Patreon has a lens feature on it, and I was just curious to see if anybody else uses that and how people use it. It's like 15 seconds or something, not very long.
That's on the app? Is that on the Patreon app? Is that what that is?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Honestly, like I have not used the Patreon app in like over a year. It just hasn't been on my phone. I haven't needed to use it. I'll check it out to be able to see if it's worth using. Cause I don't know, like I don't really think of Patreon as being like a social media network. It's more just kind of like, you know, your social media network is elsewhere. And then people aren't discovering you through the Patreon website. I don't think people browse Patreon quite in the same way. I'll look into it. I can get back to you guys on that. I wouldn't, yeah, it wouldn't be something that I would like wait for me to give you some feedback before. But I mean, obviously you feel called to explore it because I mean, yeah, that could be a thing there where maybe there's a new audience there that we haven't tapped into otherwise. But yeah.
Well, so I follow Van City Van Life, and
Okay.
he uses his Patreon to give people like exclusive inside looks before he posts his vlogs to.
Okay.
So I didn't know, but
Okay.
I don't know how that lens feature works from the patron side of it.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for bringing that to my attention. That's something that I will look into and maybe we'll talk about it in a future meeting. So thank you, Brianna. Yeah, no, again, guys, I think kind of what we've kind of talked about here at the end is really cool. So again, just kind of recapping with Brianna and Pisces and Plasmagoddess and anybody else, if this resonates with you guys, again, you know, setting things up. So you got your Discord, that's where your community can kind of gather. And then again, when they sign up on Patreon, that's where they can get access to the full Discord. And then again, within that, you have your routine of some kind of podcast or some kind of class, whatever you're calling it. I think if you call it a podcast, people get excited about it. They understand what that is. And then again, you're broadcasting that podcast to YouTube, and then that's where people in your bigger community see that, and that's where they get enticed to be able to join on the Patreon. And when they join on the Patreon, that's when they can join on air for future podcasts. Doesn't that sound familiar? That's basically what I've been doing. But again, honestly, like it can work for you guys, and I would encourage you to do it because you guys all got your own value to share, and it's just a really cool way to find people who are going to resonate with what it is you're creating. So for all of you thinking out there, you know, just think like, if I was going to create a community podcast with discussion with other members, what would I want to talk about? What would I want to facilitate space about? And again, we'll do some other meetings here in the future where we can get more into the specifics of hosting a podcast and facilitating and leadership on that end. So, okay, cool. Checking in real quick before we wrap things off, Corey and Robert, or Brianna, was there anything else? Like, I mean, Brianna, we can probably check in on some stuff outside of this. Okay, cool. And again, for anybody here, if you guys want to just be able to like send me your tiers or anything like that, let me know and we can set things up and go over some additional things. Cool. Okay. Yeah, Robert and Corey, if you guys just want to let me know if this was helpful for you and any quick ideas, we're almost at the 1 hour mark. So if you don't mind just being short and sweet. Robert and then Corey. Go ahead, Robert.
Okay.
Welcome.
Robert, aka Johnny Bloom. I've been on my spiritual journey for about 10 years, been doing video editing for almost 15 years. I got my degree in video editing and been to Abundance University and studying law of attraction and all of that, and now doing the Akashic Records clearings and past life clearings, property clearings, and I'm trying to integrate it all into one thing. But on the video editing aspect, I have a lot of tips. Get yourself an external hard drive, a couple terabytes. I have 20 terabytes. And organization is key. Organize. If you have a Mac, if you're working on a Mac, I actually have a script that my video professor gave me that you could just double click and it automatically makes a set of folders for each project, voiceovers, pictures, export, and everything. That is very important, so everything's easily accessible. And also when you're exporting, if you're doing these recordings on Zoom, and if you have Premiere Pro, it's best to, it exports pretty large files. So if you like bring it into Premiere and you lower the bit rate also down to like between 3 and 5, it'll make a 500 megabyte thing into like 50 megabytes, and it'll save you a lot of space also.
Cool. Well, Robert, we can just kind of like checking in and stuff like that. Like, do you like, we can talk more about this another time, but like with listening to what the other people in the chat have talked about here today, do you feel like you're kind of like looking to be able to move towards creating kind of community around your content and build a Patreon? Is that something you're possibly leaning towards in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I've been planning a show for like the past 5 years, and it just keeps evolving until I finally do it. Based around like the environment and real world news, nothing political, just nature. What is like the whole nature world, what's going extinct, what we can do to change it, and integrating spiritual things into it as well.
Cool. Well, dude, that's good, man. And I think if you're just kind of, again, like observing what, again, Pisces and Plasma and Brianna are kind of, keep an eye on what they're doing as they're getting started. And I'm sure there'd be some stuff there where you could get some direction and, just building things one step at a time. Guys, we're almost at the 1 hour mark. I apologize. I don't mean to cut anybody off early. Rob, are you okay with that? Is that cool? And then we'll just pass it over to Corey real quick. All right. So Corey, again, I know this is your first time here. Please feel free to let us know if this was, again, just helpful, any gratitude, any quick questions. Go ahead, Corey. Welcome.
Yeah, no, thank you. And again, this was great. I think that one of the main pieces is that I kind of had this awakening when it's been almost like maybe 10, 11 months now. And I really like learned so much information in like such a short span of time. And I have a lot of different insights on like many different angles of life and things like that. And just to kind of like mesh all this information together and really try to get it to people in a logical way that like relates to them. And make it concise. And I really like what you were saying about making a theme each week, because I felt like that was kind of my issue, was I had all these ideas like, and it was kind of all over the place. Like I was posting like 2 to 3 TikToks a day, and like sometimes it wasn't sticking to a theme, and it was all over the place in that sense. But I think that that'll definitely benefit me, especially with creating different, because I would like to go beyond TikTok. Obviously, I was thinking about doing a podcast. I would like to set up a YouTube, and so I'm really like starting to just get the ball rolling. And I think making that theme for each week is going to help blend all of the platforms together and just narrow it through like that funnel. So that's definitely really, really helpful in terms of that. I guess the only real question I would ask is that in terms of like Instagram, my current Instagram, it's either like, do I just make a new one, or do I just build, like use my current one now that I feel like is more like personable? But I have been trying to share content through that. So that's kind of like that's the only, I guess, question I have for at least the Instagram side.
Yeah. No, I just kind of like answer that real quick, and then we'll get things wrapped up here. And yeah, dude, that's awesome, man. And again, that's kind of the beauty of where we're at right now, is like anybody can create a YouTube channel, right? So if you can create a YouTube channel, and if you can, like, all these tools are available to us, guys. Like, that's the thing, man. Like, this is a prime time, like Zoom and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. We have all the tools we need, right? So this is like where we're really stepping into our potential. But yeah, I think it would be worth considering starting a new Instagram. I mean, how many people are following you on your current Instagram, just to get an idea?
It's like 1,300.
Which is not too bad. So I mean, honestly, it's up to you. It's up to you. If anything, I would say just kind of like, don't worry about like shifting gears on your current Instagram. It's about you, and you are your brand. And if people see the transformation from what it was before to what it is now, that's okay. You may end up changing the name of it. Like this is, again, you know, another discussion just about the importance of creating like some sort of ubiquitous name that's going to be consistent across all channels. So it shouldn't be like personal name on your Instagram, different name on your TikTok, different name on your YouTube, if you can consolidate them to the best of your ability. I know my YouTube and my TikTok are different. That's just because I made them at different times. But yeah, I would say, you know, just kind of like see what it feels like to be able to bring in more content. I wouldn't jump into creating a new Instagram too fast, just because, again, it takes a while to be able to build up the momentum there. But yeah, that would just be my quick advice on that there. And we can definitely talk more about the other stuff as we go. Corey, is there anything else real quick or?
No, I think that's it. Thank you.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
Sweet.
That was really good.
Awesome. Thanks so much, dude, for joining in. And thank you again, everybody, for being here. Yeah, I'm just going to wrap this up real quick and just reminding everybody here to just, again, keep rocking. And I'm really, really proud of you guys. And every single week, we're making more progress. We're planting more seeds. And again, for those of you who are leading members, please feel free to reach out to me on Discord if you have any questions, technical support, anything you need clarity on. I'm here to help. Again, we got our work periods Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m. EST. If you guys are looking to get involved further with our community and join on here for these work periods and much more benefits, be sure to check out the Patreon, links down below, as well as the team chat. And yeah, let's get ready to wrap this up. So everybody here, just join me in saying farewell to everybody. So bye, everybody. Do peace signs for the thumbnail. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the Discord. And yeah, thanks for rocking it. Good job, team.